What terrible thing happened as a result of you not being able to say no? My psychotic, spoiled sister told our entire family that she had caught me stealing from our grandmother. The whole thing started at Sunday dinner, when Stella stood up dramatically and placed her hand over her heart. My spiritual advisor, Moonbeam, has helped me unlock a vision. You stole from Grandma! I saw it! She screamed while pointing at me. I laughed because I thought she was joking, until I saw the tears streaming down her face. Mom immediately rushed to comfort Stella, while Dad gave me this disappointed look. I tried to explain that I hadn't even been to Grandma's house in 2 weeks, but Stella started sobbing harder. She said the vision showed me wearing my blue hoodie, which proved it was recent since I'd just bought it. Grandma sat there in silence, clutching her pearls like they were enough to glue our family back together. I didn't even defend myself. I just waited for the kerfuffle to die down before checking Grandma's accounts to prove they still had her money. But what I saw made my heart drop. The checking account that had $15,000 for 10 years straight now showed a balance of 43 cents. I immediately dialed Grandma's number. And surprise, surprise, Stella had been the one to handle her finances for the past 6 months. That evening, I printed out all the bank statements and drove to my parents' house. Stella was there getting a foot massage from Mom, while Dad made her favorite smoothie. There were dozens of charges to something called Serenity Spirit Retreat. Each charge was exactly $3,000. When my dad picked up the statements with trembling hands, I expected him to finally stick it to Stella. Stella, why is Grandma's checking account empty? Stella rolled her eyes before saying, material wealth was blocking Grandma's chakras. I moved the money to a higher vibrational plane through the retreat center. You're effing welcome. My dad's face went pale, like all the years of raising a spoiled brat was hitting him all at once. Meanwhile, my mom nodded along like it made perfect sense. Heck, she even thanked her. As soon as the room went silent, I slipped out and drove home. I was honestly planning on never speaking to Stella or my parents again. But the next morning, I woke up to a black SUV pulling up to my driveway. 2 huge guys got out and knocked on the door, and I've watched the movie Rocky enough times to know that they were loan sharks. You see, Grandma's savings wasn't enough for the retreat. She had to borrow another $30,000 from some very unofficial lenders too. The men explained that payment was due immediately. I tried to negotiate, but the men weren't interested in payment plans. If they didn't get their money in 48 hours, they'd start the foreclosure process. And before I could ask anything else, they got in their car and left. Well, I wasn't taking the fall for Stella's BS. But when I got to my parents' house, Uncle Jerry was already there. He pulled me aside before I could even speak. Listen, kiddo, I know this isn't fair, but you need to confess to taking Grandma's money. If you admit to it, then insurance might cover the loss, and we could protect Grandma's house. I stared at him in disbelief. He actually wanted me to take the fall for Stella's delusions. Jerry, I'm sorry, but no. I knew you would refuse, you effing beach. Your family needs you, and you're letting them down. Be an effing man and grow up. That's when I realized I was surrounded by idiots. The emergency family meeting that night was brutal. Stella sat in the middle of it all with tears streaming down her face. I just can't understand why everyone is attacking me for trying to elevate our family's consciousness, she repeated over and over. She even brought Moonbeam, who sat beside her nodding and mentioning that she accepted Venmo for emergency spiritual counseling. Grandma finally spoke up. I won't let my grandchild take the blame for this. I'll sell the house. Her voice was quiet but firm. The room erupted in arguments, but Grandma raised her hand. I trusted Stella with my money. This is my consequence to face. I sighed. That's when I knew I had to step up. Not for Stella, and definitely not for my parents, but for my grandmother. The woman who always slipped hard candy into my pocket when she watched my parents ignore me on my birthday. The woman who gave me a full plate of food when my parents insisted that I was greedy and all the food should go to Stella. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing, just drained my savings account and handed it over to the loan sharks before cutting everyone off. Good riddance. But the next day, I woke up to 37 voicemails and 99 plus text messages. Stella had found out what I'd done and had told the entire family that I was ruining their spiritual experience. Full story on channel, link below.